New tonight, fertility rates have been trending down for decades, but now researchers are looking into a surprising contributor driving the decline: smartphones. Maribel Gonzalez tells us more about this new study and about how our phones may be reshaping how we behave. So Maribel, is this more about smartphones changing how people feel about starting families, or are people simply spending so much time on our phones that they're forming fewer relationships and going out?
Yeah, Annie, well, according to this research in progress, it's a little bit of both. Now, experts point to lots of other factors that may play a role, including soaring costs of childcare, the rise of birth control, reduction in teen pregnancy. But this study says that smartphone use, how we relate to other people, that could be a significant factor in the long-term trend. Is the iPhone birth control? That's the question being asked in a recent working paper published in the National Bureau of Economic Research.
Trying to understand how our smartphones have changed human interaction is really the stem of this paper.
Researchers study the link between the rollout of at&t mobile broadband, the iPhone's original network, and the change in fertility rates between 2007 and 2011. They estimate the early adoption of the iPhone explains 33 to 52% of the decline in the fertility rate, suggesting smartphones replaced in-person interaction.
Rather than having to make plans and go out and see people, it's much easier to revert to just going onto my phone and communicating with them through a text.
But other experts are skeptical that iPhones, particularly the early models, could have greatly impacted birth rates, as the study claims.
We didn't have the App Store, couldn't stream video, there wasn't Instagram, TikTok.
Instead, pointing to other factors.
There were other big things like the 2008 recession and financial crisis and housing crisis that affected, people in all sorts of ways. But we've seen birth rates in women over 30 go up, for example. So people are postponing to later ages, and we kind of have yet to see how that plays out.
Now, it's important to note that this work in progress is not peer-reviewed yet, meaning experts in the field will need to dissect the research, weigh in with their feedback on the findings. Now, also important to note, the researchers in this report also make clear that they don't think the smartphones are the only reason for the decline in fertility rates, just that they were a big factor. Annie?
Okay, there has to be other factors contributing to this. Maribel, thank you so much for that eye-opening report. We'll talk soon.